So we were sent on this assignment by our teachers to go take pictures of graffiti around the city. So my first stop was Lindy Boggs Hospital that was abandoned, and it had a good deal of graffiti on the outside of it. I really couldn't imagine how much was on the inside, but I'm pretty sure it was loaded. We were kind of deterred to go in because most of the area was fenced off, and there was a cop around the corner. It was kind of cool and amazing how these writers could get so high and paint these images and memes. In the book Graffiti Live, author Gregory Snyder notes that writers started using paint rollers to paint from rooftops, and also as a quicker way to cover a surface. There are ones that were so high up and in places that couldn't really be seen except from a distance, and so it was very difficult to take pictures of them. Even though I wasn't a part of the culture, I could see that each one had a story to tell, and I wanted to hear more. It seemed like if you saw one piece, there was likely more in the area, and abandoned buildings were hot spots for graffiti, because writers were less likely to get caught, and since it's abandoned, the graffiti is less likely to be painted over. As we went from spot to spot, I kept my eyes peeled, looking excitedly for new tags and names. Luckily I had a driver so I could take pictures during the ride. It was such an adventure. I really could see how urban exploration could be so thrilling. I was hoping to find some pieces at some point, but kept finding tags until we got closer to the river and saw a Banksy piece. There was a piece of glass covering it so that it couldn't get painted over, so obviously this piece was valued as art and not just vandalism. Also, the tags by Reed seemed to be promoting books and reading, so how can these vandals be all that immoral? And as we went further into more heavily graffitied areas, we found two beautiful murals celebrating the 9th Ward that were perhaps done by the artist Bean. It was really awesome seeing something beautiful on buildings that were not cared for anymore, but are now canvases for art. At the end of the day, I finally found a wall of tags that showed the interaction of writers, as the author mentioned in his book. Reed, being more popular, had one of the bigger pieces that was done over someone else's. Seems like there was some beef between the writers, but I guess that happens in that culture. After the first day, I took it upon myself to find graffiti on my own. Some were right in front of me that I didn't even know about. Every time I was out, I'd look for some. It was kind of dangerous since I was looking for things on buildings and not paying attention to the road, but it was so thrilling. Being a new daredevil, I went along with some friends to go urban exploring at this abandoned factory. It was so nerve-wracking and so exciting at the same time because I knew we were trespassing, but I couldn't help but take on the opportunity. Even before we got in, I started seeing graffiti, so I knew there would be some good stuff inside. I wouldn't really consider myself a deviant, but I was certainly breaking some rules here. Even with that knowledge, I didn't let that stop me from experiencing something I'd never even experienced before. I mean, I had to admit, it was lots of fun being sneaky and going to the rooftops, discovering a new world within the city. It was nearly all art to me. It was fascinating. I was definitely pro-graffiti by this point. By the end of the day, I guess it depends on how you experience things, and what it does for you. That helps you define things as good or bad. I've certainly enjoyed my tiny exposure to graffiti subculture, and I can't wait to go searching for more.